It's June and we're almost halfway through 2026. Today we'll look at what happened in the residential real estate market in Belleville, Quinte West, and Prince Edward County in the month of May. Starting with Belleville, median sale price came in at $510,000, down 5.9% from last May. Active listings climbed up to 388 properties on the market. That's up 9% from last year, while sales were essentially unchanged. We had 83 sales in the month of May compared to 84 last May. Months of inventory increased to 4.9 months, up 13.1% from the figure we saw last year. But the bigger story isn't necessarily the year-over-year numbers, it's where these numbers sit historically. Belleville recorded the lowest May median sale price we've seen since 2021, the highest number of active listings, and the highest inventory levels we've seen in May in the last decade. That combined with the lowest number of sales we've seen in the last decade, excluding May of 2020 where we had the pandemic disruption. Not very promising statistics for Belleville. As we move over to Quinte West, we see similar trends, but Quinte West continues to be a little bit more resilient of a market. Median sale price actually increased year over year from last May, coming in at $525,000, up just 0.4% from last year. There are 367 active listings in Quinte West, up 6.5% from last year. And again, just like Belleville, the highest number of active listings we've seen in the last decade in a May. Sales actually increased year over year, coming in with 93 transactions this May compared to 91 last May, up 2.2%. And months of inventory came in at about 4.2%, up 6.6% from last May. Even with that increased demand and support, sales remain well below historical norms and inventory levels at 10-year highs in Quinte West. Moving over across the bridge to Prince Edward County now, the median sale price was $672,500, down 5.3% from last year. Active listings climbed to 537 properties on the market, up 14.7% from last May, and the highest amount of active listings we've seen in, you guessed it, the last 10 years. Sales actually increased. We saw 44 sales happen in the month of May, up 7.3% from last year, and inventory decreased just slightly 2.3%, but we're still left with 12 and a half months of inventory on the market. The county continues to face the same challenges that we've been discussing for some time now: high inventory levels and relatively low transaction volume. The positive takeaway is that transaction volume seems to have a bit of an uptick and inventory levels are somewhat stabilizing, although they're quite high. The challenge here is transaction volume is still well below historical averages. In all three markets, May largely continues the trend that we saw in April. There's been no major shifts, no dramatic price corrections, or no sudden change in buyer activity. Instead, we're seeing a slow market characterized by lower transaction volume, longer timelines to sell, more buyer choice, and higher inventory levels. The data suggests that the market's not getting significantly worse, but it's also not getting significantly better. Instead, it continues to grind along at a slower pace than we're used to. I wish this video had a little bit more excitement, but that's what the numbers are telling us right now. And if you're watching this video, you're probably here for the facts and not the drama. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.